Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Atlanta United Career Mode series. Kicking it back off, we're going to hop into this episode where we will be playing in the U.S. Open Cup final. It is going to be against Minnesota United, so the two newest teams going head-to-head in the final for the Cup. It'll be very interesting to see how it goes. I'm not sure what kind of signings they've made this year. For the most part, it looked like they had their pretty normal lineup, but first we are going to have a game in the MLS. We're going for our 100th goal in this match. Last episode we did get to 99 goals at the end of the episode, which was a little overshadowed with the poor performances that we had. But in a game against Montreal here, we do have a very good opportunity to continue the goal scoring and to hopefully grab another victory. We are playing at home, which is always nice, so hopefully we can grab some more goals in this episode. I believe at this point, Joseph Martinez is at 30 goals and Miggy is somewhere around 33, I believe. So they're looking to continue their run. Tito Villalba obviously as well looking to grab himself some more goals to solidify that spot in third. As you see here, though, we do have 99 goals this season. The next highest scoring team is Whitecaps with 44 and New England with 42. So definitely have the Golden Boot race as a club pretty locked up, and we should definitely be winning that. But obviously want to keep our team scoring as much as possible the closer we get to playoffs. So I believe we have 2 episodes left of the regular season after this, so we will go into it a little bit next week, but by the end of next week we should be through the entire first season, which will be great. As you see here, a little bit of a different lineup. Brandon Vasquez comes in to the starting lineup with his new number 9 for the replacing Julian Gressel, who's not on the best form, still on good form, but wanted to give Brandon Vasquez, who is in better form, a better chance to start. So giving him the new number, wanted to get him into the squad as soon as possible. So hopefully he can do some stuff for us in this game as well. The number 19, I believe, is fully available now for whatever player we have. BJ4 will end up wearing the number 38 like he does wear at LA currently, so that was an open position for him. And Palmer Brown, who is not starting in this game but will start in the next one, also got a new number, I believe wearing 35. So it is good that we're starting to get these numbers filled up. We obviously still have a couple places open, but here we're trying to just kind of get the ball around Montreal any way we can, just trying to find our way into the box. And it just ended up being good timing that I put in this track right here, because it ended up working pretty well. Along with the Viking clap, we managed to go ahead and get the ball back right here with Tito Villalba, who's able to get the ball into the box after a little bit good of foot play here. Pass it off to Brandon Vasquez, Vasquez to Acosta, Acosta to Carmona to Yamil Assad, who smashes it into the side netting and gives us the 1-0 lead in the 7th minute of the game. So good to always grab the early goal, as you guys know, but always looking to score more, so we definitely weren't going to slow down there. We want to keep scoring as many as possible, but Yamil Assad does get goal number 100 in this game. So 100 goals in one season, and definitely at this point where we could actually probably get to about 110, 120 goals probably by the end of the season, is a really good spot to be in. Obviously the end of the season is a little bit difficult. We do have another game, I believe, against Red Bulls, and then the last game obviously against Toronto, like it is in real life. But that is Yamil Assad's 8th goal for the club and 8th goal for the season, obviously. So definitely doing well on his loan. Hopefully we'll be able to sign him up at the end of the season, but if not, obviously we do have some good replacements coming in for him in the next season. So hopefully either Greg Garza or Yamil Assad come back to the club. I doubt we'll end up getting both because it probably will be a decent amount of money, and I don't want to give a DP spot to both of them, but we can see how it goes. Here in the 21st minute of the game, we actually managed to get a pretty good opportunity. Miguel Almiron's able to pull the ball back and just weave it through about 5 defenders to his partner Joseph Martinez, who grabs his 31st goal of the season. So again, those two never playing a selfish game and giving each other opportunities to continue to score and battle each other for that golden boot. Obviously whenever you're within the same team as the person in second for the golden boot race, you really don't care who wins anymore. It just kind of becomes a little bit of fun after that. So Um, Definitely a good spot to be, but Josef Martinez able to grab his 31st goal here. So at this point, obviously only a 2-0 lead, looking for more goals always. I did want to talk about, obviously, again, if you guys have been watching the past few episodes, you're probably tired of hearing me say this, but I will have another series coming out next week after we finish the first season of this one, and we will be taking Atlanta United to the Premier League and seeing if we can survive. I wanted to give myself a challenge because the season has been super easy for us. I wanted to give myself a little bit more of a challenge with the original Atlanta United lineup, obviously. So we'll see how that ends up going next week. But here we're able to grab the third goal of the game in the 42nd minute. Tito Villalba able to grab himself a goal and continue pressure in that third place spot for goals. So Brandon Vasquez with his new number getting the assist here, I believe. So Brandon Vasquez ended up not getting the assist. He was just in the area, but Yamil Assad is able to get the assist there. So a goal and assist already for Yamil Assad, putting up a very good game. So 3 different goal scorers in this game, which is always good to see as well. But that is Tito Villalba's 15th goal of the season. Again, probably good enough to win Golden Boot by himself, but ended up only in 3rd place as of right now. So here we're going into the second half, just trying to grab one more goal. We get a really good opportunity here with Josef Martinez running on the shoulder of the defender. Doesn't quite have the pace to outrun him with the ball, so he tries to get it in to Miguel Almiron, but isn't able to get it. So they're going to kick the ball up the field here, and we'll have another opportunity to grab it before they end up trying to score, but they're going to make a little bit of a run here that's going to fizzle out. So definitely good to go into the second half with the 3-0 lead, looking for maybe at least one more goal before the end of this game, but definitely always looking to score more. If we can continue this form, I don't think really anybody can challenge us. Obviously, last episode was a little bit of a struggle. That's why it was really important for us to come into this game against Montreal Impact and try to grab another win, or more goals in reality. A win would be good enough, but we're always trying to make sure that we're in the best form possible. So I'm not sure if Brandon Vasquez will keep his spot in this game, or in this team as starter, or if Gress will end up coming back in, but having the option to put both of them there definitely works out well for us. I think Brandon Vasquez is playing really well in that right mid spot. I do want to try to get his defense up a little bit to make him a little bit better suited for the 3 in the back formation, but we will see how that goes. Sadly, we weren't able to grab another goal in this game, and it only ended up winning 3-0, but it's 3 points at home and 3 goals to increase our goal difference even more. And obviously that did make us at 102 goals for the season, which is incredible, as is. Montreal only had 2 shots in that game, by the way. But here we are in the U.S. Open Cup final against Minnesota. Here I was just kind of trying to figure out, I've been using the second team in this challenge, in this cup rather, so I did want to continue to do that to give players the chance to play. Alec Khan, maybe I shouldn't have started after his last game where he conceded 6 goals, but ended up wanting to give him another chance here and see if he could do any better. You guys are going to see here that I end up bringing out Zach Lloyd, I believe, for Palmer Brown. I couldn't really decide. Bring out Mark Bloom. I end up playing Lloyd at right back. Bloom is good, but he's a little bit too slow to play in the formation that I need him in. So Bloom will more likely end up, if he ends up staying at the club, will play more of a center back role or CDM role for me, more so than that right back position, because he's a little bit too slow to play right there for what I need him for. So putting Zach Lloyd there gave me a little bit of a better opportunity. If you guys watch the player career mode, he ended up scoring 2 goals at the very end of the game for us to grab a victory. So it kind of swayed my decision there a little bit to give him the opportunity to play. But against Minnesota United, again, probably should have taken this game a little bit more seriously because it was the cup final, but at the end of the day I didn't really care about the cup too much, and I figured we did well against Minnesota so far this season. It should be pretty easy to grab the win even with the backup team. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the game here and see what we can do. But here in the 20th minute, we have a pretty good opportunity. Jameson the fourth ends up getting on the ball right here, getting it to Jacob Peterson, who's able to slot it home. So Jameson able to get himself his first assist for the club, I believe, and definitely making an impact already. He's not as fast as I thought he would be for the team, so he's not quite being able to do what I need him to, what I brought him in for. It is still a potential that we end up bringing in another pacey striker to play behind Joseph Martinez. But as of right now, I think Jameson will do us a good job as really kind of the third spot in our striker depth chart, because I do still like Brandon Vasquez more, but I wanted to give him the opportunity, obviously wearing his new number as well. Palmer Brown ended up doing pretty well in this game for me. His positioning is pretty decent. I think it'll take him a little bit to fully adjust to the team and for me to fully adjust to how to play with him versus obviously playing with Michael Parkhurst and LGP in the back. I think he would do better with a little bit pacier of a center back partnership, but with Bobby Boswell there, it does make it a little bit difficult. But here in the 59th minute, we actually ended up going and tying the game at 1-1. So Finley able to grab himself a goal, his first goal in the U.S. Open Cup. Definitely a good time to start scoring. He was the one player that I was super worried about in this episode. But we end up ending the 90 minutes at 1-1, and because this is a neutral ground, we do end up playing in extra time. So a little disappointing to have to go into extra time to hopefully win this game, but again, still confident that we could do what we needed to win it. We do still have a couple of substitution options, I believe, before we go into the 90 minutes, but this team is really capable of doing a lot better than they are. With only 7 shots and 54% possession, it was a little disappointing. Here you see most of the lineup is the same. Andrew Carlton is doing a decent job at center attacking mid, but you can definitely feel the lack of Miguel Almiron in the pitch. He plays a certain way, and with that pace is obviously really good for us. So it is very possible that we end up bringing somebody to kind of help us in that position, because I think Andrew Carlton is playing a little bit better at that left mid position now. But we end up going down here. Finley scores his second of the game and drops us to 2-1. And in the 99th minute, going into the 100th minute, they're again dominating us a little bit. I think my players were a little too tired at this point and weren't in the right positions, and they end up getting a run on goal here right in front of Alec and isn't able to save it. So we go 3-1 down, and at this point I was pushing so high up that regardless of what I was doing, I was playing on too high of pressure that they were inevitably going to get another chance if I let them. And here they put in another goal to make it 4-1, and the knife in the heart of Atlanta United in the U.S. Open Cup. So again, disappointing to lose this game, but the club only wanted us to get to the round of 16. We obviously did that and made it to the final. So it would have been nice to win this game, but I wasn't going to risk the starting lineup to win it. And I did want to give Alec another game to hopefully redeem himself, but it is his last 2 games he played in, conceding 10 goals. So a little disappointing there. We'll see. Hopefully he can bring his form back in the start of next season. He probably won't see any more gameplay time this season unless I do end up sitting some of the starters for the rest of this regular season going into the playoffs. So a little disappointing again to end up losing this game 4-1 and losing the cup. And definitely to Minnesota United, our 2017 brothers here. But it is what it is. We end up moving forward. We're more focused on the league anyways, trying to win that, but it would have been nice to hopefully go for the treble of the Supporters Shield, the U.S. Open Cup, and the MLS Cup. But that is where this episode is going to end. I'm just going to let the rest of the video run out. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I will see you guys later.